All right, so you found the car that you like at the price that you like, but there still might be something keeping you up at night. Uncertainty. Uncertainty causes stress. In fact, there's some research that indicates that a lack of transparency, not knowing what's really going on with that used car, is a key source of unpleasantness in the used car purchasing process for many shoppers. So having said all that, I'm going to give you one tip. One do-it-all, simple, effective, affordable, easy tip that'll take a whole great big chunk of stress out of the used car shopping process for you, if you happen to be stressed out about it like so many people are. And I'm going to tell you what that tip is right now. You ready? Before you buy the car, take it to a mechanic. And a lot of you are saying, well, duh, Justin, that's just common sense. But they also say common sense is not so common. I think that holds especially true when a lot of people are buying used cars. I hear from people every week, viewers, readers, friends, family, whatever, that have just bought a used car and they're super ticked off that it's, say, leaking coolant a week later because the rad wasn't repaired after it had been cracked in an accident that they didn't know the car had gotten into, or that they had to drop $500 to fix a leaky oil pan gasket, or that the car needed front struts a month later at a cost of $800, or something to that effect. Mechanics make their living detecting problems in vehicles. It's what they went to school for. It's what they paid for. It's what they're good at. That's their job. And there's all kinds of problems that could be there that you or I wouldn't even notice. We don't have the trained eye than a mechanic does to look for signs of trouble. So why aren't more people doing this? Why aren't more people taking the car to a mechanic before they buy it? There's two common excuses or reasons that I hear all the time. The first one is, well, the car was safetied, or it was certified, or it had a certification. Now, this kind of depends on where you live and so on, but I know in my province, you don't even have to have an engine in your car to certify it. A certification or a safety, by and large, in most provinces and territories and states, if you're south of my Canadian border, is nothing more than an assurance that the car has met a very bare minimum standard of mechanical compliance. It doesn't mean that the car is in excellent shape. It doesn't mean it's not about to have suspension problems or leak oil or fluid everywhere. It just means it's probably not going to fall apart underneath you as you go down the road. So people put way too much confidence in cars that are sold certified or safety. So remember, a certification or a safety is by no means a guarantee that that car is in excellent shape. And the second reason, well, it's going to cost me a bit of money. It's a bit of time. I have to go to a place. That's kind of the second side of it. A little bit of time. I mean, this is your new car. You're spending $5, $10, $20, $40, $60,000 on it. And you're going to spend many countless hours driving it after the fact. Why wouldn't you invest that little bit of time and money up front to get the thing checked out by someone who knows what they're doing? And yeah, sure, it costs a couple bucks, but do you know how much a pre-purchase inspection costs? I've had half a dozen of them on my own vehicles. They tend to be $200 or less, and oftentimes closer to $100. Now that's peanuts. And not only that, but a pre-purchase inspection can save you a ton of money. And I'll give you an example of that, of my very own. My current car, a Dodge Viper. I bought it from an out-of-province dealer. This thing was advertised as the most immaculate, pristine, mechanically perfect, needs nothing Dodge Viper in the known universe. Turn the key and go. This car was in 100% perfect shape. So I'd been back and forth with the dealer. They knew I was interested. I called a nearby Dodge dealer, said, look, can you take this car in, have it looked at by one of your mechanics, and give me a report on what it needs and what kind of shape it's in. I'll pay for it. They said yes. I called the dealer. I said, okay, look, I'm this close to buying the car. Can you get someone to drive it out to this Dodge dealer so that a mechanic can go over the car and look at it for me? And if it's, as it was advertised, perfect mechanical shape, doesn't need a thing, immaculate, then I'll buy it for asking price. And they said, sure. So a couple hours later, I get an email with this list of items on it that the car needed. It totaled $10,000. Now, that's the dealer price and dealer parts price, and you'd probably get it done for cheaper somewhere else. So the point is, that $200 I spent on that pre-purchase inspection saved me something like $10,000. And maybe that $200 saves you $500 or $1,000, or maybe it just costs you $200. But what's your peace of mind worth? All right, so that's the tip. Get that used car checked out by a mechanic before you buy it. But how do you get a used car that you don't own yet to a mechanic for that inspection? Well, first, you call the dealer or the private garage, and it doesn't matter which one you use. The dealer will probably tell you otherwise, but you can go to a private shop or to a dealer. Find out the pricing, find out their availability and the lead time they need in order to make an appointment, and make that appointment. Then just tell the seller, look, as a final check, I want this car to go to a mechanic before I agree to purchase it. You can either have them meet you at the shop, tell them it'll take about an hour or so for the inspection, or another option that I've always had luck with is just ask the seller if they wouldn't mind giving you the car for an hour to take it there yourself. But then it's over to the mechanic, and that mechanic is going to do all kinds of wonderful things to make sure that that car is not hiding any problems for you down the line. They're going to plug a computer into it and make sure the sensor network is working properly. They'll make sure that the air conditioner is running up to speed. They'll put it in the air on their hoist and use a pry bar to pull on things and see if things are wiggling that shouldn't be wiggling, or if that's leaking oil, or if that needs to be replaced, or if, you know, this was repaired poorly after an accident, for instance. And again, it's all about that peace of mind and having an expert look at that car with their skilled eye. And once the mechanic is done, well, then you know. He might tell you, well, you know what, this car needs $3,000 of work. It's been in an accident. It's been poorly repaired. It needs new brakes, and the oil pan is leaking. You probably shouldn't buy it. Or he might come back and tell you, you know what, this car is in fantastic shape. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think you should go for it. And it's all about knowing. It's all about taking that stress and that uncertainty away from the equation. It's all about peace of mind. And that's really all there is to it. All right, so to recap, the one simple, effective, easy, affordable tip for you to remove a whole ton of stress out of your used car shopping experience is take that car to a mechanic before you agree to buy it. And of course, check me out at www.justinpritchard.ca. While you're there, you'll find all kinds of articles, photos, videos, and helpful advice whether you're shopping for a new car or a used car, including your very own printable test drive to-do list that's full of handy advice and tips. If you're shopping for a specific used car model, you can print that out and bring it along with you for the test drive. I'm Justin Pritchard, MR2Pritch on Instagram. If you want to follow, happy shopping, and thanks for watching.